Thanks, Katrina. Let's turn to business news now with our reporter Jonathan Mitchell beaming in from Wellington. Hi, Jono. What does the latest quarterly survey of business opinion that you previewed last night tell us about business opinion?
Well, the election campaign didn't do business optimism any favours, John. If we look at the latest figures, fell to a seasonally adjusted net 7%, and that was from 17% in the June quarter. That's not entirely surprising. Markets, businesses don't like political uncertainty, so consumers and companies are more cautious in the near term about spending and investing. If we break it down to the sector level, the weakest sentiment came in the building and services sectors. That slowing housing market and acute skills shortage are still at play there. But if we go longer term, the Institute of Economic Research says the hiring and investment intentions are strong, so there's some good indicators for the long term. The economy is growing at around 3%. That's expected to stay that way for the foreseeable future, and the Reserve Bank is likely to stay on hold for at least another 12 months.
Thanks, Jono. A voice very familiar to listeners of RNZ National has decided to call it a day. A well-known business commentator with, I think, the country's biggest bank, right?
That's right. You'll be familiar with the name Cameron Bagrie. He's been, as you say, a familiar voice on RNZ News for many, many years. He's decided to resign from ANZ Bank as their chief economist, take a few months out, recharge the batteries, then go into a new venture. He's been one of our more accessible and colourful commentators. He's managed to cut through a lot of that heavy economic jargon and data. That's not an easy job from my experience, and given us a clear understanding of what's going on now and in the future in his own way. A bit of humour, a bit of jargon, a bit of alliteration, always entertaining, and we'll certainly miss that, and I'm sure our audience will as well.
Jono, what happened on the markets today?
Pretty much the same as yesterday. Fairly quiet start to the week. Rose a handful of points to 7,933. A Kiwi dollar is weaker though, 71.6 US cents, 91.8 Australian. The Reserve Bank of Australia, as expected, has left their cash rate on hold at 1.5%.
Jonathan Mitchell with Business News Live from Wellington. Thank you very much indeed.